Hello and welcome to the Eye, your English news bulletin. I'm Esther. These are the headlines. A family in Nagaon district of Assam has alleged that a member of their family who passed away due to COVID-19 was a victim of not only coronavirus but a possible organ selling racket. The All India Catholic Association in a press release has condemned the alleged inhuman treatment of Jesuit Father Stanislaus Swami and informed that Father Stan Swami's lawyers have asked the Bombay High Court to order a judicial inquiry into all aspects of his incarceration and death. The much anticipated Union Cabinet reshuffle is expected to take place on July 8th, said sources on Tuesday. Now for the news in details. After several questions were raised about the twin deaths of Samuel Sangma and Rosie Sangma in New Delhi 2 weeks ago and government intervention requesting for a probe into the deaths, the Deputy Commissioner of Police Southwest, Ingit Pratap Singh, has informed and confirmed to HornbillTV that there was no foul play detected and Samuel Sangma's death was due to a clear-cut case of hanging and there were no external injuries as well.
The post-mortem report of both the deceased is out and no foul play has been detected. Samuel Sangma died because of hanging, clear-cut case of hanging, and there were no external injuries also. And the lady Rosie, she died because of excessive bleeding, internal bleeding through uteric cavity. It is on the PM report and it is a natural cause according to the doctor. So now we can quote the doctor himself.
So what about the body bruises and all that were reported?
There were no body bruises, ma'am. On Samuel's body, there were 2 bruises on his knees. That is because he was on his knees after his hanging. So there was blood clot. It is scientific. There was not beating. Nothing was there. No one entered his room. We have checked the CCTV cameras. We have checked the registers of the hotel. There was no forced entry.
It may be mentioned that Samuel Sangma, who hails from Dimapur in Nagaland, was living with his aunt Rosie. According to reports, on the night of June 23rd, Rosie suddenly began to experience intense pain in her hands and feet and excessive bleeding occurred. Samuel got his aunt admitted to a private hospital in Delhi. When her condition deteriorated, on the morning of June 24th, they shifted her to Alpha Hospital in Sector 10 of Gurugram. Her condition began to improve, according to Samuel. Then Rosie consumed ice cream in the hospital ICU in the presence of doctors, he alleged. Shortly after this, her condition worsened and she died. Samuel raised the issue on social media and made a video narrating the incident in an attempt to get justice. He went on to allege that he was beaten up and thrown out of the hospital for circulating the video. Within 24 hours of Rosie's death, Samuel's body was found in a hotel room. In a shocking incident, a family from Nagaon district of Assam has alleged that a member of their family who passed away on July 2 due to COVID-19 was a victim of not only coronavirus but of a possible organ selling racket. The family has alleged that when the body bag of the deceased was opened to bid their last farewell, they found that one eye was missing and there was a major cut on his lower abdomen. The family has alleged that a reputed hospital was treating the patient in Guwahati. According to the family, after an inquiry was made to the hospital, the authorities have assured probe into the matter to the family and a befitting punishment to be given to the person responsible. This is a developing story. Stay tuned for more updates with HornbillTV. The much anticipated Union Cabinet reshuffle is expected to take place on July 8th, said sources on Tuesday.
The buzz that was going on for quite some time intensified after a series of meetings between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Union Home Minister Amit Shah and BJP National President JP Nadda in the national capital. Sources stated Nadda had been frequently visiting the Prime Minister's residence for a month now. According to sources, it is likely that 4 ministers could be inducted from Bihar. The sources told ANI that among the 4 likely to be included in the cabinet, 2 are from Janata Dal United, 1 from Lok Jan Shakti Party fraction group Pashupati Paras, and 1 from Bharatiya Janata Party. Earlier, sources in the Bharatiya Janata Party stated that the party is likely to accommodate a few of its prominent leaders and National Democratic Alliance members in the Narendra Modi cabinet soon. It has been 2 years since the NDA came back to power in 2019. There are also speculations of several senior leaders like former Assam Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal and senior leader Jyotiraditya Scindia to be accommodated. Recently, Uttarakhand former CM Trivendra Singh Rawat met the PM as well. Several positions in the cabinet are vacant due to the exit of Shiv Sena and Shiromani Akali Dal and the demise of Ramvilas Paswan of Jan Lok Shakti Party. Party sources had earlier stated that leaders from several key states like Madhya Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh are also expected to be accommodated in the expansion as the BJP aims to expand in these states in the future.
In more news, the All India Catholic Association in a press release has condemned the alleged inhuman treatment of Jesuit Father Stanislaus Swami, 84, while in jail for the alleged Bhima Koregaon conspiracy to murder political leaders. Stan Swami and the others denied the charges as human rights movements accusing the state of using the draconian Unlawful Activities Prevention Act to crush dissent and the rights of India's Dalits and tribal communities.
The release informed that Father Stan Swami's lawyers have asked the Bombay High Court to order a judicial inquiry into all aspects of his incarceration and death. The All India Catholic Union reaffirms this demand for a judicial inquiry and also demanded the repeal of the UAPA and such draconian laws under which thousands of people, old and young, have been put in jail and denied rudimentary justice. According to the association, his was a death foretold and that it was clear that the state had, in cold blood, decided to wreak on him and others the full might of its vengeance for daring to speak for the poor and the deprived. It claimed that he was in his small room when he was arrested, his computer and other belongings seized and put into jail. He told his interrogators of the police and the National Investigations Agency 10 and later that he was totally innocent of charges put on him. In jail, with his health failing with advanced states of Parkinson's disease, he was denied basic human dignity and facilities, including a simple water sipper, as he could no longer hold a cup in his trembling hands. A man who could hardly move, he was systematically denied bail by various courts. Ironically, his last bail application came up for hearing in the afternoon of July 5, when the director of the Holy Family Hospital gave a simple statement that Father Stan had passed away, the association claimed. Further, the association stated the course of the various stages of his bail application, the manner in which the investigating agencies and the prosecution insisted he was too dangerous to be released, are ample evidence that the state wanted to make an example out of him and the others arrested with him. One of Father Stan Swami's last message from jail was, "What is happening to me is not something unique, happening to me alone. It is a broader process that is taking place all over the country. We are all aware how prominent intellectuals, lawyers, writers, poets, activists, student leaders, they are all put in jail just because they have expressed their dissent. I am ready to pay the price, whatever may it be." The association hailed Father Stan Swami as a beacon for all who struggle for human rights, especially the rights of the tribals and other marginalized people, and a role model for young men and women across the nation.
Assam on Tuesday declared a complete lockdown in 7 districts of the state from July 7th, Wednesday, till further notice, as the government issued a revised and consolidated directive for both rural and urban areas, a report said.
There will be around-the-clock curfew and commercial setups. Restaurants, shops will remain shut in Goalpara, Golaghat, Jorhat, Lakhimpur, Sonitpur, Biswanath and Morikaun, according to news agency ANI. Public and private transport will not be allowed to ply and interstate movement has also been suspended by the Assam government. There will be total containment in 7 districts, showing high positivity rate in recent days, and these are Goalpara, Golaghat, Jorhat, Lakhimpur, Sonitpur, Biswanath and Morikaun district. ANI tweeted an Assam State Disaster Management Authority order as saying, other restrictions including the odd-even formula for flying of vehicles, declaration of containment zones and more, and exemptions as notified in the order of June 26 will continue to remain in force except those specifically modified by the Assam government order.
The Delhi High Court on Monday extended protection to a 29-year-old woman who claimed she and her family members were facing an extreme threat to life and witch hunt after she willfully converted to Islam. The woman has been granted police protection by the High Court till July 22nd.
The woman, who hails from Uttar Pradesh, converted to Islam on May 27 this year while residing in Delhi. In her plea before the High Court, the woman stated that she feared being taken back to UP and reconverted forcefully. In her petition, the woman alleged that there was an extreme threat to her life and that of her family members who were being witch-hunted by officials of the UP police, media channels and various vigilant groups. She also alleged that false media reports were being circulated that she converted to Islam because she wanted a job in Dubai. In her petition, the woman stated that since June 23, she started getting threatening calls from different media persons. They even came to her residence and took photographs and videos of her without her consent. She also alleged that a man, claiming to be a reporter with a media channel, extorted rupees 20,000 from her and threatened that she would be arrested for converting.
Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal on Tuesday launched the Mukhyamantri COVID-19 Parivar Arthik Sahayata Yojana, a social security scheme for families affected by the coronavirus disease pandemic. Kejriwal said that the Mukhyamantri COVID-19 Parivar Arthik Sahayata Yojana was launched as many children lost their parents and families lost their sole breadwinners to COVID-19.
India has seen two waves of the COVID-19 pandemic, Kejriwal said while addressing the launch event virtually. The first wave was in 2020 and the second was in April this year, but in Delhi this was the fourth wave, he said. The previous year, the first wave hit Delhi in June, second in September and third in September, he said. However, the fourth wave was extremely severe and there would be very few families which didn't get infected during this wave, Kejriwal said. The scheme was notified by the Delhi government on June 22. Under it, an ex gratia of 50,000 will be provided to families who have lost their loved ones to COVID-19. An additional pension of 2,500 per month if the deceased was the family's sole breadwinner. The notification also stated that the deceased and the dependent should be from the national capital. Death should be certified as COVID-19 death or death within 1 month of testing COVID positive and verified by the health department as COVID death, it added. Kejriwal also pointed out on Tuesday that orphans, including those who lost one parent to COVID and the second parent due to any other reasons, will be given financial assistance of rupees 2,500 per month till the time they attain the age of 25. Representatives will visit the homes of the affected families and help them in documentation work, he said.
Chief of Army Staff General M.M. Naravane has met UK's Chief of Defence Staff General Sir Nicholas Carter and exchanged views on defence cooperation between the two countries. General Naravane arrived on a 2-day visit to the United Kingdom on July 5th, the Indian High Commission here said in a statement.
During the UK leg of his European tour, General Naravane is also scheduled to meet UK Secretary of State for Defence Ben Wallace and Chief of General Staff General Sir Mark Carleton-Smith. General M.M. Naravane, COIS, interacted with General Sir Nicholas Carter, Chief of Defence Staff, CTS, and exchanged views on bilateral defence cooperation. Additional Director General of Public Information of the Indian Army tweeted on Tuesday. Earlier, General Naravane inspected the Guard of Honour provided by the Grenadier Guards on Horse Guards Parade Square as part of his welcome by the British Army. The Army Chief will visit British Army formations and engage on subjects of mutual interest. During the second leg of his Europe tour on Wednesday and Thursday, General Naravane will be holding important discussions with the Chief of Defence Staff and the Chief of Staff of the Italian Army. Additionally, the Chief of Army Staff will also inaugurate the Indian Army Memorial in the famous town of Cassino and will be briefed at the Italian Army's Counter IET Center of Excellence at Casinola, Rome, the Indian Army had said in a pre-visit statement.
Hong Kong police have arrested 9 people, including 6 high school children, over an alleged terrorist plot.
Members of the group are aged between 15 and 39 years old. Police said they had rented a room in a hotel to build bombs and planned to attack the city's courts, transport networks and streets. The arrests come as Hong Kong's leader Carrie Lam warned against illegal ideas spreading through the city. The group is being held under the national security law, which has been used to crush dissent after years of pro-democracy protests led by mostly young activists. Police said they seized the highly explosive chemical TATP in a hotel room that was used as a laboratory for bomb-making equipment. Some Hong Kong dollars 600,000, US dollars 77,000, British pound 56,000 linked to the group was also traced and frozen. Senior Superintendent Lee Kwa-wah told reporters that the group had planned to attack some of the public facilities in Hong Kong, including the Cross Harbour Tunnel, railways, courtrooms, and they even wanted to lay bombs in the rubbish bin on the street with a view to maximize the damage caused to the society.
Scientists are concerned that a highly contagious new COVID-19 strain devastating Peru might be immune to vaccinations.
The C.37 strain, known as the Lambda variant, was first found in Peru in December 2020, accounting for fewer than 1% of all new cases. According to a study in the Financial Times, it currently accounts for approximately 80% of new infections in Peru and has spread to about 27 nations in the last month. A study at the University of Chile, Santiago, looked into the effect of Lambda on workers who had received 2 doses of China's CoronaVac vaccine. Results suggest Lambda is more infectious than Gamma and Alpha and is better able to escape the antibodies produced by vaccines. According to the World Health Organization, the strain contains a variety of changes that could have resulted in greater transmissibility or resistance to neutralizing antibodies. The spike protein used by Lambda to infect human cells has a unique pattern of 7 mutations. According to the data, about 10% of those who are infected die, with a death rate of nearly 600 for every 100,000 citizens, almost double that of the next country, Hungary.
Trials of a 4-day work week in Iceland have been hailed as an overwhelming success, with studies finding that the project increased productivity and improved workers' total well-being.
The Association for Sustainable Democracy, ALDA, in Iceland and the UK-based think tank Autonomy announced the results of 2 large-scale experiments of a shorter working week with no pay cut that took place from 2015 to 2019. The study included 2,500 workers, which is roughly 1% of Iceland's working-age population. Employees from a range of professions, including workplaces, kindergartens, social service providers and hospitals, switched from a 40-hour work week to a 35 or 36-hour work week as part of the trial, but were paid the same salary. Despite concerns a shorter working week would unintentionally lead to overwork, the results of the trials directly contradict this, the report found. Approximately 86% of Iceland's working population has now either transitioned to working fewer hours or earned the right to work shorter hours. The trials also resulted in a significant rise in worker happiness, as measured by a variety of variables ranging from perceived stress and burnout to health and work-life balance.
That's all for today's English News Bulletin. Stay tuned for more news roundup with our anchor Akivito. Do follow us on our social media handles. Have a good night.